honest. Nothing but the truth, yeah. Nothing but the truth, yeah. Honesty, CJ, honesty. CJ, honesty, CJ, honesty. CJ, honesty. CJ, honesty. Just being honest, nothing but the truth.
Here on CJ Honesty, we will not tolerate the following: disrespect of religious beliefs, sexual orientation, sexism, racism, and colorism. All the isms, alright? Thank you.
Alright, welcome to episode 5 of CJ Honesty. Last episode, we had a really good time with Brittany and Michael. Thank you so much to them for being on that episode. We had a really great time. We appreciate it. But today, what are we talking about today?
All right, so today we're going to explore and dive into what an open relationship is and what the components are in an open relationship, and for those who don't know what it is, and for those who don't live that lifestyle. So, and then later on in this episode, we're going to talk about, of course, this is a hot topic right now, about Jada Pinkett Smith and August Alsina. Everybody know who Jada Pinkett Smith is. She's an actress who's married to Will Smith, and August Alsina is a singer, and he's kind of, I guess, popular in the right, or you think he's popular?
Years, he's been away, hasn't he?
He's been away, yes. He's been MIA, but he just came out with an album. So, and he recently had an interview with a reporter called and her name is Angela, so she's popular. An interviewer. So, anyways, so what is an open relationship? An open relationship is basically a relationship where both partners in the relationship have the freedom to have sex with others. And in this case, in an open relationship, you're able to explore and satisfy your sexual desires or gratification with other people other than your partner. That's pretty much what an open relationship is.
Yeah, and the second thing they have here is, do you tell your partner that you're messing around with someone else? And their answer that they have here is pretty much yes. So, quote, pretty much yes, because you see your partner is messing around too, and not behind your back. Not my opinion on this, and of course, our opinions are just our opinions. I'm definitely not an open relationship kind of guy. So of course, I'm just giving my 2 cents on what this is. But I would like to think, based off of what that answer is, that even though 2 people are in an open relationship, I'm guessing that there still has to be some kind of trust in the relationship. So why would you not tell your partner, like, okay, I'm with this person or that person now? Like, I'm guessing that's where the trust factor is, I guess.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I know I would wonder, had I not pretty much known about open relationships, that, where does the trust factor come in? Is there any trust? Because you're with somebody else. So I guess that's where the trust factor would come in, is that you would at least tell your partner who you're messing around with.
Yeah, and that also is all about having transparency in the relationship. But it's the same as a conservative relationship as well. Just between 2 people, you have to have some type of trust and transparency between 2 people. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, I think you always have to have some kind of trust. That's what I was saying. I know that when I was thinking about what an open relationship is, I knew that there had to be some kind of trust somewhere. Otherwise, you might as well not even call it a relationship.
Yeah.
So because it's a relationship, that's what kind of makes the relationship be a relationship, is some kind of trust somewhere. It might not be, I guess, necessarily our kind of trust that we have or somebody else have, or in their relationship, but in an open relationship, I guess that's where the trust comes in. Is telling your partner who else is involved in your life.
Yes, I agree with what you just said about trusting that other person in your life. So I want to move on to this is the third one, but how can you share everything with your partner? So the answer to that is, well, not everything. You are not writing a thesis on 50 Shades of Grey. There's no need to share the dirty secrets of your nightly adventures. You only need to share the fact that you're having sex with someone else too. All right, so my take on that is, I always thought that when you're in an open relationship that you had to like tell exactly what you did with that person. And just because, I mean, if I was in that position, I would want to know just for like safety reasons, or like just so that I would want to be protected in that case. And then also, I always thought you had to tell details to your partner, but maybe it all depends on the couple. Maybe the maybe the other person may get turned on by knowing details of what their partner did with someone else.
Yeah, possibly. I would think psychologically, for some people, it's different whether you would want to know. I think that would be a thing where you're showing trust to that person. Some people definition of trust is different,
Yeah.
or what they need to trust you is different from what other people need. Some people would, like for instance, somebody might want you to tell your whole past to them, about what you've been through and about all your exes, what's their names, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Where other people might not need that. So I think everybody trust definition of what they need to trust you is different. So I would say, as far as like details, I think that depends on the person whether they want details or not.
Yeah, so that's, like I said, it comes down to the couple and the two individuals within that and within the open relationship. All right.
Okay, so the next question is: are there no rules in the relationship? And the answer is, the rules in a open relationship are very different from your conventional relationships. They differ from couple to couple. There are guidelines laid down before you decide on getting into an open relationship, and flouting the rules, meaning ending the relationship. So for certain, see, I wasn't aware. I don't know if you were, but I was not aware that there were certain rules to an open relationship. I was under the impression you get to just sleep with everybody,
yeah,
willy nilly. Like,
that's what I did.
You
that's what I thought.
Yeah. So,
I said that's what I did. Wait, that's what I thought. Let me rephrase. I didn't mean to say that.
So, yeah, I was under the impression that you slept with anybody willy nilly, but I guess not.
Oh yeah, I was surprised. I thought, you had total complete freedom of just doing whatever you want without like any rules to abide by. But I mean, I guess that forms some type of structure if it's in an open relationship, which I never knew. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, very interesting. So the next question, which is number 5, who makes these rules, right? So the answer to that is, the rules are not hard and fast and set by an organization, or in their case, even by society. Each and every couple in an open relationship sets their own rules and lives by them. Rules might vary from couple to couple, but the bottom line remains the same: a promise of complete honesty and transparency in the relationship. So yeah, this is like going back to what we was talking about earlier, about making sure that you're honest with that partner and you're transparent with them, because that goes a long way. Especially now, since we know that an open relationship have rules, and when you have rules, you have to follow them. Because if not, if you break them, then you know what? You're gonna get the boot out. You're gonna get booted out. Oh well, right? They pretty much whoever's in that in the open relationship, they're gonna break up with that person then.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's a promise. Their promise is that based on what this says, that they have to become like completely honest. There's no lying. There's no like doing things behind the other person's back. Yeah, you're just pretty much telling like I look at it like you're like an open book.
Yeah.
To that other person.
Yeah, I would imagine that you still keep some kind of boundaries, or you have your own set of rules, just like a regular relationship.
A conventional relationship.
Conventional relationship. So, yeah. The next question is, but do both need to have multiple partners? And the answer they have here is ideally, in an open relationship, both partners are free to have sex and experiment outside the relationship. But if only one partner is interested in checking out the other fish in the sea, then that's okay too, as long as the other partner doesn't get all possessive.
So what do you?
It sounds a little unfair to me.
Why you think
sounds a little unfair to me, but to each his own. I guess one person can be out there, and the other person is just okay, while the other person is just out there doing what they want to do. I guess.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, I guess, and I mean, no offense to anybody out there, in that situation. To me, I would feel like, in my opinion, if that was me on that side, if let's say I'm in an open relationship and I'm allowing that person to go basically sleep whoever they want to go sleep with, but I'm not really sleeping with anybody else. To me, in my opinion, for me, I would feel like that's the insecurity thing with me, like almost like a situation where, okay, if the person put me in a situation where they was like, oh well, if you don't let me go sleep with this other person, I'm leaving. So that person might say, oh well, I don't want to lose this person, so now I'm going to allow myself to be in an open relationship, and I'm going to allow them to go sleep with whoever they want to, just for me not to lose them. And that's the only way I could think that somebody would get into that. But maybe there's other ways of being into that. I don't know.
Well, I was under the impression that both people were sleeping with other people.
Yeah, I was too.
I didn't know it can go that way. I mean, is it really an open relationship if the other person is not doing anything with anyone else?
Yeah.
Like, really? Because it's one-sided.
That's why I said, like, it sounds like if there's only one person who's allowed or who is sleeping with other people, that sounds, on the other person's part, that sounds kind of like an insecurity issue to me, but that's just my opinion.
Wow. But that's very interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah.
So next question is basically open relationships or cheat-free relationships. Oh, well, I've heard this before. I've heard that saying. Nope. So the answer is nope. The rules for cheating in an open relationship are different. Wow, imagine that. While generally it is physical fidelity that is considered to be of utmost importance in relationships, here it is of little consequence. The rules are different and vary from one open relationship to the other. For example, it might be okay for both partners to sleep with strangers or have one-night stands but not sleep with someone they both know or are friends with. Or it might be okay to sleep with friends but not with complete strangers. So I would like connect this to having the rules. So following the rules. So if let's say both partners decide, okay, we're just gonna sleep with people we know, which are our friends, then that's what you need to follow. And I guess that won't be considered cheating. But if you break that promise and not be honest with that partner, then that will be, I guess, considered cheating. I guess that's why that's how I'm reading this.
I'm guessing.
Like, I don't know. You if you can only know by asking someone who's actually in one.
Yeah,
but
I'm
this is
guessing.
just, guys, this is just like based on our research we've done and what we think of it. So, I mean, yeah, that's how I take it. That if you don't follow, based on their example they gave us, if you don't follow certain things, then it's called considered cheating.
I'm wondering about the part where they say you can only sleep with your friends. I guess why, I don't know why you would only be comfortable. To me, I guess you would only be comfortable with strangers and telling them, telling your partner what strangers you're around and who you're with. But I never heard nobody sleeping with your friends before, unless.
Well, friends with benefits. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. I guess
yeah.
that's what that would be. I guess.
Mhm. Well. Okay, moving on.
So the next question they have here is, what if one partner gets jealous?
Jealousy. That's a big one.
And the answer that they have here is, jealousy is a natural emotion. That's what I was thinking anyways. And partners in an open relationship might feel it too.
Yep.
The only way to tackle jealousy in an open relationship is to talk it out with the other partner. Sometimes, if a partner ends up having more sex with someone outside the relationship, it might give rise to a feeling of resentment. At such times, it is essential for both partners to talk it out and discuss it. Even in open relationships, trust continues to be the basic factor. Both partners need to trust each other and their fidelity when it comes to love. So yeah, that's kind of what I was saying about one of the questions we said earlier. When I was saying that I don't even think that it's a relationship if you don't have some kind of trust. I think that's like the foundation of a relationship. So that's kind of like what they're saying here now. If you don't have some kind of trust, it's not even a relationship.
Yeah, and I also wanna add that that it's interesting to me that even when you're in an open relationship, you still get jealous. Because, but going to an open relationship, you know the territory that you're getting into. So I don't understand why people still get jealous. I know it's a natural feeling, but if you're in an open relationship, you know the territory of it. So I don't understand that part.
Yeah, but I think you can't. There's no way to get around your God-given human emotions that, like, I don't know. Next question.
You mean that you can that you can overcome, I guess, or just like
I don't think you can move past that. I think when you have a connection with somebody or a soul tie, if you will, I don't think there's no way not to be jealous because you feel connected to that person.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess it happens in an open relationship too. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
next question.
How is commitment defined in an open relationship? Oh, good question. Commitment in an open relationship is not in the form of sex, but it depends on a lot of other factors. It is the trust, the mental support, care, and all factors other than sex that make up a relationship. Sex is not the only thing in life. Open relationships are something like letting the partners have sex with someone they fantasize about and get it out of their system. But mentally, they are committed and in love with just one man, woman. All right. This was a loaded one. Loaded answer. So, how I take this is that I always thought an open relationship was just based on sex.
Yeah.
I never looked at it as like that you still have to have that trust and that mental support there. I always thought, people who are in that open relationship, I always had a preconceived perception of open relationships as being like free of all that, where they can do whatever they want. That's how I looked at it. But now, since we did some research, now I'm looking at it differently. I didn't realize so many factors in an open relationship that you don't. I mean, you wouldn't think about it unless you're in it.
Yeah.
And also, my other question I would have about that answer would be like, if you're I mean, if you're like having sex with someone, you're fantasizing about them, and you're just doing it to satisfy your sexual desires. Like how, for me, like wouldn't it be hard to like still be mentally in love with someone if you're having sex with someone else? Because, well, I think, in my opinion, I think sex is deeper, and I feel like if you believe it or not, that you do make connections with people you have sex with, even if it's not that deep to you, it's still a connection. So how I feel like it's kind of contradicting to say that you can have sex with someone and still be committed to that one person.
Yeah, I thought.
I don't know.
Yeah,
like, I don't know about that, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I thought this answer was a little contradicting.
Yeah, I'm like, what? There's a lot of contradiction going on here, guys.
Sex is not the only thing in life. And then the next sentence is open relationships are something like letting the partners have sex with someone they found. What are they talking about?
I have no idea.
You know what? I'm not judging. I'm just, it don't make sense to me.
Unless you're in it. Unless it's like, it probably won't ever make sense.
To me, you know what? Let me not even give my conclusion on this right now. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question.
Okay, this is all you. This is all on you.
So next question is: are there no boundaries to such relationships? Let me read that again. Are there no boundaries to such relationships? And the answer is, once again, the boundaries depend on the rules laid out. The boundaries are present but differ from couple to couple.
Okay. Well, that's kind of repetitive. We kind of already went through that.
Yeah, we kind of already went through that. Let's go to the next question.
Ooh, this is a good. Okay, guys, I'm laughing because this is very important because this is what I would be thinking. What about testing for STDs? So here's the answer. Y'all ready? All right. It depends on the partners, just like in any relationship. While it is advisable for both partners to get not only themselves, but even those who they sleep with outside the relationship tested, it is not always practiced. What? Okay, it is honestly the couple's choice. Okay, so I have a lot to say about that. First of all, the fact that you're sleeping with other people besides one person at the same time, to me, that could possibly put you in a position where you get something that you don't want. It opens you up to that possibility. And that's very important. That's why I'm like, do couples in this relationship, do they use protection or not?
Yeah, that's
that probably would have to be their choice.
Yeah.
For me, if I was in it, you're gonna have to use protection all the time. And let's just be clear. Obviously, that's not gonna always happen if you're not with your partner. You cannot. That's when it comes to trust and all. But if you're not with them and you're watching them having sex with someone else, because I think like some couples do that. Then you don't know exactly if they are using protection unless you're with them. So like. That's kind of, for me, that would be nerve-wracking a little bit. Because you don't know who has what out there. And that's why all these diseases, all these new STDs are coming up. Because people are not using protection.
Yeah, the fact that this is even, the answer has my mind just bobbleated right now. I am just flabbergasted right now by this answer.
I never really thought about that. And I wasn't thinking about this ever when I would think about open relationship. I wouldn't think, oh, are they using protection? Like, because now, reading this, it really makes you really think what really goes on.
Yeah. So
it makes you curious, right?
The question is, what about testing for STDs? And then the first sentence says, it depends on the partners. First of all, let me say this. I don't care if you're in an open relationship, a conventional relationship, please, if you are somebody who is choosing to have sex before marriage, please go get tested and make sure that your partner is clean, because you don't wanna wake up one day and next time you go to the doctor, they telling you got two years to live. That's not a
Oh,
good
Lord
look.
have mercy.
Like, because
Yeah, no.
listen, Magic Johnson,
Oh.
he Magic Johnson has HIV, right? Let me educate. He has HIV,
Oh, yeah, he still do.
but here's the thing: a lot of people don't know that they think that HIV automatically transfers to AIDS. You can keep. It's not HIV that kills you; it's AIDS that kills you. Obviously, because Magic Johnson is still alive. So what kills you is not the HIV part, but HIV turning into AIDS.
Oh yeah, to AIDS. Yeah, it's two separate things. Yeah.
Now Magic Johnson has the money to pay for his medicine that he has to literally take every day in order for his HIV not to turn into AIDS. Now the average Joe does not have that kind of money, which is why when you tell somebody that you have HIV, you pretty much telling somebody that you're about to pass away, because obviously the average person isn't going to have enough money to pay for the meds that he needs to take for the HIV not to turn into AIDS. So I would say that I would speak against that as far as like saying that it depends on the couple. No, I think you should be, if you're having sex before marriage, you need to be getting tested on
at least getting tested. And we all know that some people don't use protection. And if you don't use protection, just make sure you have to get tested. I'm all about that. Like I would let, if I was in that position, I would make sure the person's getting tested. Yeah. Because that's important. That's you. Yeah.
It's me. So next question is, can couples in an open relationship be married?
Yay.
Oh, Lord.
This a whole. All right, let's see.
Here we go. Here's the answer. Wow. Yes, it says yes, sure. Why not? Okay. Couples in an open relationship have a very normal married life. The partners go to work, share their daily lives with each other, help in household chores, go for vacations, etc., but except for the sex part. They have sex not just with each other, but even with others.
So what do you think? What do you think about that, huh? About.
So I guess they're trying to say they live a regular life, I guess.
As a conventional couple.
As a conventional couple, the only difference is that you're sleeping with somebody else, but
with other people.
Yeah, with other people. I guess you can be married, and I guess for some people, I could only think that the reason you would be in that position as a married couple, only thing that I could think of is that if they wasn't around each other, that they felt like they had absolutely no self-control over themselves when they're not around each other. So in that sense, they just gave each other the okay to be with somebody else when they're not around each other. That's the only way I could really wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, I mean, if you just see the couple, you can't tell who's in an open relationship. So if it's just a man and woman, you would never know they're in an open relationship unless they tell you. So they can get married,
right.
Because it's just like they're like a conventional couple.
Right.
Except for their sex life is different, or their lifestyle. So I mean, yeah, I can probably see that they can probably still get married. Yeah. Next question is, what about children of those in open relationships? Well, the answer is, well, naturally, you need not share details of your private life with your children. Of course, I guess some people do that, but I wouldn't. Couples in monogamous relationships do not exactly tell their children each time they decide to have sex. So why should those in an open relationship? It remains between the partners, and if the children find out once they're grown up, it is the parents' responsibility to share the details if they want to. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want, if my parents if I was a child, or if I had a child, I wouldn't want to tell them. I mean, that's yeah, they shouldn't be in my bedroom.
No.
That's across the board,
Yeah.
whether you're in an open relationship or not. Right? That's like,
yeah,
why would you share that details with your children?
I don't think.
I mean, unless they catch you with someone else.
Yeah.
like, Mama, why are you with him? Wait.
Wow.
Wait, I don't know. That's funny to me, but that could happen probably. That would be an interesting scenario.
I guess if you have to explain the birds and the bees, if you will, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't. I don't have too much to add to that one. I don't see even a regular couple and talking to their children like that in details like that. I don't know why you would. I mean, I have heard of some daughters and mothers having a relationship to where they feel like they can talk about anything. But other than that,
yeah.
I don't know about any parents going into details like that. I mean, of course, you educate your children, but as far as going into details about what you do, I don't see.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
I don't never hear people or anyone doing that really. All right, this is an interesting one.
So next question is wife swapping an open relationship?
Wife swap.
Wife swapping, and the answer they have here is not necessarily. Things like wife swapping and husband swapping could be a one-time affair and not practiced ever again, or it could be the result of a drunken night. But if practiced continually, then yes, it could be a form of an open relationship.
What? The only wife swap I know about is the show that used to come on. If for those who know, basically, well, wife swapping is when you switch out, the wife.
Yeah.
Based on the show that's on the TV, and then they just like live that other person's life. But in this case, they basically saying that their wife swapped, like, just to have sex with that other person's wife or husband.
No. That's
Didn't knew that. Never knew that really.
No, I never knew that either.
I guess that can happen.
I did watch a movie when I was a teenager. I remember watching the movie. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it had Woody Harrelson in it, and basically his wife, basically got paid. They was paid by an older gentleman to go out for the weekend and to do whatever on this yacht that the older gentleman had. He basically wanted to spend the weekend with them, and they was in a Woody Harrelson and his wife was in a position where they was poor. So the rich man came to them and said, if you let me spend the weekend with her, I'll give you this amount of money. I think it was some kind of millions of dollars or whatever like that. And basically, long story short, with the movie, they basically agreed to it. But afterwards, there came, of course, a lot of confrontation and stuff like that. So I never knew about this question though.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so the next question is, are threesomes open relationships? The answer to that is guess. No. Threesomes are not open relationships. In an open relationship, both partners need not have sex together. They can go their individual ways. Threesomes are not always open relationships. I can agree with that because I've met couples who are actually monogamous who've had threesomes. And doesn't mean that they're in an open relationship. It just means that they wanted to try something different. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about that either. I guess I would think that from what I heard about people being in that they consider that to be some kind of thing where they're just having a moment, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So the next question is, so open relationships equal friends with benefits, right? And the answer is wrong. Open relationships and friends with benefits are totally different concepts. In an open relationship, you do have one steady partner
throughout. Friends with benefits is also about sex and all day long sex.
All right, so this is you.
So, I was under the impression that it was similar, but I'm guessing it's not friends with benefits. I thought it was similar because friends with benefits, you're basically just having sex with someone without the relationship factor.
Mm.
But I guess in open relationship, um, you're with somebody. It's kind of, I guess, in some way,
It's
opposite, but it's not the opposite.
yeah, they're similar.
Yeah, it's similar, but they're not.
I feel like open relationships are more. Is more to it than just having sex with that person.
Yeah,
It's more like involved. More
they
because it's a
try to put
relationship.
yeah,
It's
they
built
try.
on like you said, foundation of trust.
Yeah.
With friends with benefits, you just like having sex with them. That's it. You moving. You just go on throughout your thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell them who you're doing it with or with other people.
Yeah, I guess that's where the difference would be is you're basically telling the partner who you're with or what you're doing.
Yeah. So the next question is: are such relationships emotionless relationships? Obviously not. There's a lot more emotions than lust. Such relationships are based on trust, honesty, and an attempt to throw out jealousy. The feelings of love and companionship are all there. They are far for soulless beings. Emotionless relationships are called, I'm gonna say sex buddies, but it says the other word. So, I mean, of course, so based on our research, open relationship it is emotional for someone. You are able to get emotions like jealousy, like they say. So it's not an emotionless relationship like friends with benefits. You do get your emotions involved, and it can I guess with any other relationship can wear you out, and it could you also have to put effort into it, So I think it's based on what they said. It's not emotionless. So do you agree with that too?
I would guess that I wouldn't see how it would be emotionless. I think that's pretty much a human factor. I don't see how it would not. You cannot have emotion if you're talking about having trust between two people or three people, or however many people it is, or the two partners. I should say that the open relationship is between.
Yeah. All right. So this is the last question. You got this one.
Okay, so it says, do such relationships work? And the answer that they have here is, it totally depends on the partners. If they can be emotionally detached to the fact that their partner is sleeping with someone else and they are willing to experiment too, then why not? In fact, for some couples, it boosts their morale to feel wanted and manage getting laid by their fantasy woman, man, and it only helps make their marriage stronger or improves their sexual performance with their partner. It says it's Pandora's box, really. You never know what you'll get once you open it, but for most couples who agree to such relationships, it's generally good.
What you?
So
Yeah. So what you think open relationships can, based on what they said, can work?
I
what do you
think
think about
it
that answer?
has
Period?
to be two people who are used to not putting their emotions into relationships like that, or having a certain limit of emotion that they put in to their relationships. I think you're gonna have to, in order for, because I think when you looking at two people who are together who's having the trust factor, and then you're bringing in other people into it, how can you not be really, feel some kind of way if the other person is with somebody else, unless you put up a wall, or you put some kind of emotional wall up, like you don't, like almost like a I don't care attitude, really.
Yeah.
I think you kind of, if you were in that situation, you would have to kind of have that
kind of personal about yourself.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about a couple the one person who's going out doing all, experimenting with different people, and then the other person who's not. Like how, I'm wondering how would it make that other person feel if they're not open to that? Should they even be in an open relationship if they're not willing to have sex with other people? That's what I was thinking about when we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
That's not, to me, that wouldn't work. I think that would be set up for failure.
That's what I was saying earlier, that I thought that would be insecurity on that person's part.
For the person who's not having sex with other people?
Yeah, that's why I brought up the scenario about, basically them saying, okay, you can do what you want to do as long as you stay with me, kind of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, just because they want to stay with that person.
Yeah, just because
they can't find
so
you now.
much, they so much don't want to be alone or don't want to be detached from this person that they're willing to put up with anything, basically.
Yeah, because they probably have history with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can see that happening.
Mm.
All right, so hot topic time. Hot topic. Hey. Okay, so everybody what's going on. Have heard about by now about Jada Pinkett Smith having an affair. An alleged affair with August Alsina. So we don't know. No one knows exactly if this is true. We're just going to tell you how we feel about this situation. So when I first heard about it, I wasn't surprised because I remember seeing pictures of them together last year, where everybody knows that those pictures are circulating with them together with Jada and August. And I wasn't that surprised. I was like, oh, well, I'm not that surprised. I don't know why people were surprised because I already been heard about this. It seemed like people are just now catching up to it. And also, it's been, for years, people have said that Will and Jada has been in an open marriage. So I'm not really surprised about this, personally. I'm like, I don't know why everybody else is. I think they may be surprised because of who's involved in it. August being involved with Jada. I mean, you wouldn't expect those two to be involved with each other. But then again, August, for those who don't know, he been through a whole lot in his life. He had just lost his sister like a year ago now, like back in end of 2018, and
2 years.
2 years ago? Yeah, so 2 years.
Yeah, 2018, 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago now, and he also been through some trauma in his life with being violated. I've read that he was molested as well, and I also think he mentions that in the interview that he had with Angela. But I admit I did not watch the whole interview though. So
I have not watched the whole interview.
I watched bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
So So the way I feel about it is that maybe it's a possibility that he could have done this for his album, for just publicity.
Oh, publicity.
Yes, but on the flip side, when I did see him in an interview, it seemed like he did change. So I feel like Jada has some type of spell on him.
Yeah, she did something to him.
Did something to him. We don't know, but I think I believe August. And people are saying that he's being messy and stuff, and I'm like, no, maybe this is his truth. Maybe it's his. You have his truth, you're gonna have her truth, and you're gonna have the truth, the real truth. That's just how it is. But then again, Jada and Will, they both denying all this happening.
Yeah, they're denying it all together.
Yeah, Will saying that no, August said that Will gave him his blessing, so somebody is lying if someone is denying it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's my thing. I mean, yeah, so somebody's lying between the both of them. They're saying, August Alsina is saying one thing, Will and Jada saying another thing. I don't even know if Will has said anything, really. I think it was just Jada saying
He's
something.
quiet. He's being real quiet.
Yeah, he hasn't really said anything. It's just Jada. And she's talking about, having a red table talk by herself.
By herself? No,
I guess.
she needs August and Will together. This is like
Well, she might have to put them on two separate sides of the table then or something. So that's not going to work out.
But you know, actually, I want to add too. You know why they're denying it? Because they want to be perceived as a whole, like a perfect Black American family.
Yeah,
and we know that they are not that. They probably have some problems. They even admitted that in one of her episodes, I think on Red Table Talk, that at one point that they were changing and that they decided, they had different ways of thinking and very major differences.
Yeah, so, their two characters is kind of totally different. I think they were saying business-wise, they work together pretty good.
Yeah, business-wise.
And it just makes sense in that way. And then them having kids and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, in my opinion, I think it should be way more to that when you marry somebody. But some people think it's just some people really just get married based off of compatibility of their careers and finances.
True.
And everything.
Yeah.
And being compatible, making sure that their offspring will have enough money for themselves and everything. So some people get married based off of that too. And I know Will was saying in another interview I was listening to, he was saying that his happiness is not predicated upon Jada's making him happy and Jada vice versa, basically. I agree with that. You shouldn't depend on somebody making you happy. You should be happy in your own space. But at the same time, I think it's okay for the person to make some kind of effort to make sure you stay happy. I don't think it's their responsibility to make you happy.
Yeah.
But you still have they can put in. I think that's where effort comes in with making sure somebody that you care about is happy in some sense, or you're bringing some kind of joy into somebody's life. But to each his own on that.
Yeah. So basically, we're just gonna have to wait until Jada have her Red Table Talk. That should be interesting, and I'm tuning in. I hope that you will tune in too, and that should be interesting. We're gonna definitely eventually talk about that in another episode, so stay tuned for that. And
so we'll see you next time on CJ Honesty.
All right.
CJ Honesty. Just being honest, nothing but the truth.